Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. Continuing our theme on giants, today we have the Fire Giant for you. And once again, this comes to us from the original monster manual as used with basic Dungeons & Dragons and advanced Dungeons & Dragons, or what's typically called 1E today. So today we're going to talk about the Fire Giant. It's a pretty cool one. Unlike the ones we've done so far, this one is impervious to fire. Go figure. Fire Giant. Who would have thunk? Oh well. These are rare creatures that show up generally living in either caverns or castles. It's about 50% of the time either way. And of course, they're a more powerful giant than the frost giant. And this giant, unlike every other giant out there, is the only lawful evil giant. Frost giant is chaotic evil. Stone giant's neutral. Chaotic evil for the hill giant, but lawful evil for the fire giant. Now, it also has a slightly lower armor class. It's an armor class of 3. And this one is an 11 hit dice creature with plus 2 to 5 hit points at the end. Once again, you roll to determine which one it is. If you find them in a group, and as a wandering there can be 1 to 8 of these, they will typically have some females and young as well as their main fire giant males. Also, if you get them in their lair, they're very likely to have a number of very large HELL HOUNDS as guardians of their specific lair. Pretty nifty. Now, of course, they also throw rocks, and they can catch them, but they can only throw them about 200 feet, and they're not as good at it as other giants are. These also do 2 to 20 points of damage if they strike something. Now, hand-to-hand combat, it can be 5 to 30 points of damage. It's always by weapon type, but typically a fire giant carries a large two-handed sword. Doesn't say anything about it in the book, but it's how the illustration looks. And once again, I have to honestly say the fire giants that I've used have always carried either a very large sword or a halberd. Any case, 5 to 30 points is the amount of damage it does, unless the DM does something wonky. And of course, DMs never do anything like that. Right. In any case, us dwarves don't like fire giants. It's not that the fire bothers us or anything else. They're big. The bigger the giant gets, the more and more dwarves we need to be able to handle it in combat. So it's a bigger, this one I think is, it's like, I don't know, 16 or 17 feet tall. It's taller than the frost giant. Each of them get bigger, and of course it's stronger too. So it's a pretty nasty combination. Of course, dwarves, the only ones that we run into typically are the ones that are in caverns. And no, I don't like running into them in their lairs. We don't like HELL HOUNDS either. The whole concept is kind of yucky. And of course, they're lawful evil, so it's not like they really want to negotiate with us, except at the end of whatever weapon they're using. So it's always a fight. So us dwarves are a little bit wary of these, to say the very least. But in combat, this is certainly one of the more effective giants that are out there. And being impervious to fire doesn't hurt. Now, they don't have any special magic resistance, but they're impervious to fire. That includes red dragon breath. These aren't going to be that easy to deal with if you're used to using fire all the time. I'm talking about you magic users. So, of course, we had to go out to the greater Hornhelm community and ask them about this specific creature. What about the fire giant? And the DMs out there tended to like this one better, I think. Most of them came back with a ranking of about 5.5 to 6. I actually thought that was a little high. 5 to 5.5 is more in the range that I think it should be. Maybe the reason they rank it that way is that so many adventuring parties rely on fire. In which case, this is not going to be so easy to deal with. And in talking to the players came back and pretty much agreed with the DMs. They ranked it between 5 and a 6. I think part of that was because of the whole fire thing. If you're a group that relies on fire, this could be a little bit more daunting. And of course, as DMs, we never run across groups that rely upon fire. You know, that the guys with the wiggly fingers, yeah, the magic users, they never spend too much time using flame-based spells, right? So, okay, maybe that does cause a little bit more problem than I had thought. Still, an interesting giant, and certainly every step that we take here along the way, the giants are becoming more difficult to deal with. And that's going to be true of the next couple we do as well. So that, my friends, is the fire giant. We hope you found this interesting, entertaining, educational, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, please be so kind as to leave us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Definitely share with your friends. Most of all, come back and see us again real soon. We very much appreciate your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!